Hey everyone, welcome to City Lights Church Weekly Recap. Really glad you were with us this past Sunday. We continued our series on rejoicing a city based out of Proverbs chapter 11, verse 10, which tells us that when the righteous increase, the city rejoices. We've been talking about how spirituality goes beyond just church attendance, but affects and transforms the city in which we're planted. It's interesting, when we think about God's moving in a city, often as Christians we tend to over-mystify things or over-spiritualize things, as if we pray, something will just mysteriously happen. And although God, of course, does things without us, his normative working in the earth is through his people and through his church. In the book of Acts, chapter 7, it speaks concerning Moses, and it says when Moses was 40 years old, it came into his heart to visit his brothers that were captive in Egypt. Isn't that an amazing thought? When he was 40 years old, it came into his heart to visit his brothers in Egypt. Of course, we know from the book of Exodus that Moses then leads the children of Israel out of captivity in Egypt into the promised land. But what an amazing thought there, that God didn't just transplant them overnight and just mystically one day they're in Egypt and the next day they're in the promised land. He used Moses to be a deliverer. Their prayers to God were answered through a person. In the same sense, God still uses us today. He's looking to bring his dreams, his desires, to place them in our heart, and to do that, to rejoice a city. I want to encourage you that you are the answer to someone's prayer today. God may move miraculously, God may move supernaturally, but his normative working is through his church actively seeking the Great Commission in the city in which they're planted. Thanks so much. Look forward to seeing you this week.